Come in. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon. Thank you, sir.
Ashish, there is a very interesting anomaly in your biodata. You have put BPS, you have police service at number 5,
Yes.
and your interest and your hobbies and everything shows that you are that kind of a person who loves challenge, trekking, adventure, challenge, and then chess. That is also something which is
Yes.
full of adventure and all. So why this anomaly?
So my first preference is Bihar Administrative Services, and accordingly, supposedly, if I do not get that, then I believe that the choices which I have put before BPS would allow me to prepare in a more comprehensive manner. That is my take from that.
Do you read newspaper?
Yes, sir.
What is the headline of today's news? Today's newspaper? Any newspaper?
Yeah, today I read Indian Express. So in that, major headlines were about Augusta Westland issue. So the main person who is the mastermind, supposedly, he has revealed some of the secrets and named some high-profile persons in that. So that is being covered. Apart from that, the ministry of Shri Nitish Kumar ji, the new ministry has been formed. So particularly Mewalal Chaudhary has been alleged about some misappropriation, I guess, of funds and some other issues about that. So he has been alleged. So that too I am remembering right now.
Okay. In a newly formed ministry in Bihar,
Yes.
how many from minority community have got their place there in that ministry?
Sorry, sir, I do not remember by that.
Okay. Now, do you think that the right to internet is a fundamental right?
So Supreme Court has deliberated upon this issue in two recent cases, I
What
would
is
say.
your opinion?
So my opinion matches with the Supreme Court. They say that right to access of internet as a way of expressing your views and opinions, and if one doesn't get that, then it mars the fundamental right of freedom and speech. So in that way, right to internet cannot be abrogated as a blanket ban. There should be some test of proportionality for that.
Yeah, your optional is philosophy, and your background means from which particular background you are?
So I have done BTech in electrical and electronics engineering.
Okay, what is the relationship between these two streams, philosophy and BTech?
So when I decided that I would be going into civil services area, so I wanted to take up a new subject.
Why?
Because I had already studied the science background, and after working in, so I had got a keen interest in civil services field. So it was a calculated decision that I wanted a subject which would help me in tackling the GS papers as well, and I wanted to do something new, and I went through some other like 5 to 10 days I would study some other subjects, and I thought that philosophy would be good. So that is the sole reason.
You are from which district of Bihar?
Sir, I am from Patna.
Tell me the 3 negative things about the people of Patna. 3 negative things.
So one, first of all, which I get is not following the traffic rules. I guess that most of us, even in bypass and the flyovers, they would come from the wrong side, which is very dangerous. So that is the second is littering. Littering is already has been made an offense also, but not been implemented properly due to lack of awareness among locality. So we litter our locality. We keep our houses clean, but we litter our locality. So that is the second. Third, which now I am on my personal basis, is wastage of water. Yeah.
Are these problems very much specific to Bihar, or these are general problems which you find everywhere in India?
I would say, sir, we would find it in most parts of India. We will find, but
My question was the negative things against the people of Bihar. Patna.
so since we live in a locality around, so this is what I could recall. Otherwise, any specific traits?
Ashish, you are having a very, very negative attitude towards the people of Patna. Once you get selected, what will you do with this negative attitude?
No, sir, it is not actually negative attitude. Just as you asked me, I have to put out some negativity. I would like to work upon these also. Like it is a very basic. Like I have done this, like personally in my home and all. I have made sure wherever I have lived for very less time in Patna. So I have made sure that no littering is there. I have made sure that whenever somebody comes to my house, I do talk about some of these things, like regarding wastage of water and too. So these are on the upfront. So I would like to improve on a personal basis.
Right. Ashish, did you vote this time?
This time around, no, sir, I couldn't vote. I was out of district, so I couldn't come.
Can you tell me that which Indian National Congress session, this equal voting rights and political participation was the main issue? We talked about all these. In which particular Indian National Congress session? And who was the president of that INC?
Sir, I am not remembering the exact session, but in the 1930s, I would say in particularly the Fazpur session of 1936, most of the labor rights, equal participation, that was the time when this was being discussed in the whole arena. That is what I remember in the 30s, early 30s.
What is your take on love jihad? Some of the states are, making
Yes.
laws against love jihad.
So recently, just it was also on news today, which you asked me earlier. So MP government is coming up with a more stringent law. So and they have said that they would be penalizing with an imprisonment of up to 5 years for allurement, fraud, and in the same lines, like if one does forcible conversion for marriage or any other issues. So the government has come, and apart from that, there is also, I feel that it is also being targeted against one community by vested interest generally. So all of it is not, though not good, but what the government's concern is the major killings and all which happen due to or a forcible conversion, that should not happen. That is government's concern over there.
Supposing some of the convicts, say for example Rajiv Gandhi case, the Tamil Nadu governor is not taking any decision on those pardon issue and just lingering on. Should judiciary come and interfere?
So in this case also, I would like to quote the Supreme Court judgment itself. So when deliberating, I remember in one of the cases, Supreme Court said that it is totally upon. The Supreme Court was clear that judges just decide that what should be the punishment, the code of punishment, and to give that punishment or to pardon is totally upon the executive, and the judges shouldn't interfere in that. Having said that, there is also one judgment which says that if this is elongated a lot, so you are depriving a person, like again if he has been sentenced to death, and if you are elongating that and he is living in fear of that, so that is a gruesome act upon him. So Supreme Court has, in the Rajiv Gandhi assassination case itself, so the convict was, I think the sentence was commuted to life imprisonment as it was getting delayed, the execution.
Dr. Sashish, so I can see that you have also placed jail services, isn't it, as your third option?
Yes.
BJS,
Yes.
right? Okay, fine. So what would be your role basically if you will be selected as jail superintendent? What do you think?
So the role there would be of two kind. The one would be dealing with the probationary officers and actually the prisons is more as a correctional facility. Now the prison reforms are also in for us. So helping the prisoners come out, not only retribution but also helping them to get involved in the society, so that for minor issues they do not become major criminals or full-time criminals, which we say. So that part is would be also there. Apart from that, administration of jails, the inmates are often requiring payroll and furlough, so administrating that, that is what I
Okay, how will you deal with influential prisoners, someone who had political backing, you know? So that kind of prisoners, how will you deal with them? Like, will you flout the jail manuals? Will you flout the jail rules? Will you give them a special favor?
So no, there is no case, nobody is above the law, and I believe that if I get into jail services, I would be having the authority and I have the right mindset to abide by the law. I won't be placing anyone above law. What is there should, and in case of prisons and other administrative posts also. So it has to be done by rule book. Any deviation must be conveyed to your senior and must be approved, and should be in a good intent, not a malified intent.
Okay. What do you understand by under trial prisoners?
So sometimes like in cases like in any cases, so a prisoner can be he is just accused and the case is going on. He has not been pronounced as guilty. So this, but still due to, so like there can be cases of rape, murder or narcotics cases where there is a chance that he might come out if he is put like if he is on bail or something, he might interfere with the process of judicial administration. So they are all in judicial custody in jail.
Okay. Do you subscribe with the idea that justice delayed is justice denied?
Yes sir, I do subscribe with the.
So do you think that under trial prisoners who have not been pronounced guilty yet, but then also they are being harassed, so for them the justice has been denied?
So again here I would say that so it has to be proportional. Like there are cases like heinous crimes have been done and they are all they have been made like cognizable offense. So releasing them just on the pretext that they might not be guilty. In some cases there might be I believe in some cases there might be like a person who is not involved, he would be in a jail for a long time. There have been cases also, but overall I believe that no one is induced
So for
without.
him, do you think that if he will subscribe to the idea that justice delayed is justice denied, if he will come to you and say that, see sir, I have been under trial and still I have not been pronounced guilty, and suppose it has been 5 years, 6 years down the line, so do you basically think that the justice has been denied to him?
So that is actually due to the lack in judicial process and the delays caused due to that. So that is an administrative failure in which we have as a society we all of us have a responsibility over that, and more of judiciary and government, that judges are posted frequently, cases are fast tracked, particularly in the heinous crimes act. So that has to be there. There would be some collateral damage anyways, so that cannot be avoided.
Okay. What do you understand by tribunals and courts?
So tribunals, like I would like to state with example that tribunals are for particular types of cases. For example, water tribunals are there, river dispute tribunals were there initially, or for a particular incident. But courts are generally we find a structure like particular court is the district court is the High Court is there, with Supreme Court of India. So,
But the courts
permanent
do-
institutions.
Okay, but the courts do have original jurisdiction, appellate jurisdiction,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yes.
So courts also used to hear the water dispute cases and all, isn't it?
Sir, the courts can hear, but only in special leave petition. Directly, the law doesn't allow for going. Like in some of the cases, that directly one cannot approach to the court, and in particularly in the river water dispute tribunal. So it has the sole jurisdiction. Supreme Court can only come under special leave petition.
Okay, who can refer a case to CBI? Which authorities are there who can refer a case to CBI?
So state government, central government, and courts can
Courts,
refer.
which courts?
So, Supreme Court and High Courts, I believe. I'm not sure about High Court, but High Court
What about
can.
district court?
Sir,
Can
I
they
think they cannot. I'm not sure, but I think they cannot.
Okay, what is urban flood?
So, urban flooding is if there is a catastrophic event, not catastrophic event, but heavy rain, flash flood kind of situation, and due to the storm drains not being cleaned up, or due to the extra concrete covering, so normal drainage which is there, and the water seeps down the soil horizon, so that doesn't take place and leads to water logging in the urban areas. That
Okay,
is.
so what are the causes basically that leads to urban floods?
Not cleaning of the storm drains, they are not having enough capacity to allow the flow of water when there is heavy downpour, and sometimes there is also due to, like I would like to example the Kankerbagh area in Patna itself. The basin topography is there, so in basin topography, so there would be lot of accumulation of water for longer days. So that is also a reason. Sometimes we encroach upon areas of waterfall habitats, so disturbing that. So the natural capacity of area is also dissipated in that process. So that is also a cause, like cutting green cover. So that also interferes with that. So
Okay. To what extent you will? Okay, let me put this way. How do you analyze the role of student politics in modern day India?
So student politics has been relevant. Not in all, not only in the contemporary times, but from the beginning itself. If we see the Indian freedom struggle also, we'll see that initially education and the universities were the heart of the nationalism which grew in India. So students are always there as a revolution, you say, or as a change, as a voice of change or alternate method. So it would always be relevant. Students would always be relevant, and they are.
Okay, now tell me this thing in context of JNU.
So regarding
In JNU also there we have what student activism, isn't it? And
Yes.
then we read newspapers that few students they
Yes.
chant anti-national slogans and all that. So do you think that students who are basically meant to study, they should be involved in student politics?
No, sir, I do not think that students shouldn't be involved. Having said that, personally, in technical institutions, we had no political forum or something. So, but in the DU and JNU, there always have been, and we also see that good politicians come out from that. So that is a way. So banning that or not allowing students completely is anyways not. I do not think it is good. But again, any anti-national or slogan reading should also be not allowed. That there should be a balance in that.
Okay, so in most of the colleges in India, we don't have this student politics, isn't it? As you said, it
No,
is restricted only.
in my in engineering colleges, I believe there is not a student.
Okay, so you agree that few institutions are there where we don't have student politics. So do you
Yes.
think that in those institutions it should be promoted?
No, I don't think so. So
No, now you said that the students should participate in
yeah,
politics.
they should, but it is not compulsorily all institutions should have. Those who are having it is good. and if people want, then some are interested, some are not interested.
But
So
formation of association is a fundamental right.
so that is a lot. Association is a lot. We are having eco clubs and all thing, but
No, but
nothing per se like elections and all won't be there in.
So you don't
technological.
consider political association as an association?
No, I do consider.
Then there would be what double standard, isn't it? That you are subscribing for another type of association which are not political in
No,
nature.
no, no. I am not. I'm sorry, sir. I think I have been not clear about this. What I am saying is there are institutions of both type where political process is there, and there are types of institutions where political process is not there. So depending upon that, what is that would depend upon the time, and like if there is a demand that there should be a student representative through elections as in DU and JNU, then it can be extended. But if there is no demand, if people are, I believe that most of the time in engineering colleges we are so much involved, and this is my personal belief that for political process and elections, so we do not have that much time.
Okay, one last question, clarify me one thing. At one particular point of time, there was no demand for the abolition of sati also. Society, by and large, we are in favor that sati should be continued. But in spite of that, sati was abolished, isn't it? So if you see in that context that student politics is not, suppose, demanded in any particular institution, but it does not abolish the fact that student politics should not be there. Do you think or not? Or suppose if student politics is not there in any educational institution, that does not necessarily mean that people are not demanding it. You have to
Yes.
create certain awareness also that it is good for an educational institution to have political association. Do you think in that way?
Yes, awareness can be done. Obviously, if we want to extend that, so that can be done. So, sir, do you want me to compare it with the sati or just?
No. As you said, since there is a lack of demand, that's why it is not necessary that political association or student forum should be there, because the institution has not asked it in the first place. So what I am saying that it does not mean necessarily कि समाज जिसको चाहता है, मतलब जो चाहता है, अगर वो ना मिले, तो इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि वो रेलेवेंस नहीं है उसकी। तो अगर किसी इंस्टीट्यूशन में पॉलिटिकल एसोसिएशन नहीं है और आप एज अ एसडीएम है, तो क्या आप ये कोशिश करेंगे कि उन इंस्टीट्यूशंस में स्टूडेंट का कोई पॉलिटिकल एसोसिएशन बने, या फिर आप एनकरेज करें स्टूडेंट को कि एकेडमिक एक्टिविटीज के अलावा भी आप पॉलिटिकल प्रोसेस में अपनी भागीदारी दें? मैं ये कहना चाह रहा हूँ।
Yes, sir, that can be encouraged, of course, that can be encouraged to make people more politically, having more informative politically, so that they know the process of, and they know the value of representation, popular representation. So that can be inculcated.
This Raj, tell me something. What is social engineering in case of Bihar politics?
Social engineering, I believe, sir, it is not only in Bihar but in almost all states of India. So it is based only on the winnability of a candidate is often pitched on caste notions and other notions like that. So they do that, which candidate would get say the forward votes or the backward votes or a particular class, the Muslim votes, youth, like that. So that is social engineering.
Why caste is so important in politics still?
Sir, I believe that the core reason which I believe is somewhere people are more than, we say that humans are rational animal, but we are more of an emotional animal, and emotive appeal again and sentimental often. This is more true in the less not illiterate, the less educated or not properly formally educated. So the breaking the shackles of casteism or which have identity is very difficult. So I'll say the politicians tap onto that. Even in US we see that Trump plays this card. So it is relevant even in developed societies, it would be done.
But there is no caste in the.
No, there is no caste, but what I meant that emotive appeal against rational thinking, that emotional issues.
What was the emotive issue?
Like he'll say that we'll build a wall in between Mexico and in the last election, 2016 election. So I'll build a wall between Mexico and that, and we will make America great again, and protectionism, giving jobs to. So these things again, though not practicable, but they do appeal sentimentally. So it is all.
People are sentimentally attached to their caste.
Yes, sir. They are still attached.
Okay. You want to break the shackle of caste.
Yes, sir.
So, but the reservation is on the basis of caste. So how will you break?
So
Yeah,
reservations.
you support reservation
Yes.
based on caste.
Yes, sir. I do support.
So how will you break the caste?
Sir, the caste, the shackle of caste can be broken once. I would like to agree with Dr. B.R. Ambedkar over here.
Why do you support caste-based reservation?
Sir, I support it because the backward classes and the depressed classes do not only are not only socially and economically
You
backward.
have done depressed classes. I am talking about caste.
So, sir, that's I am going to that. So, in that often they due to the caste system only that has been created. So the boundaries are there due to that. Often jobs are, and they have not been able to get they have not been able to get employment and livelihood opportunities apart from what has been traditionally given to them. That has become its own comfort. They are in their silos, or I can say compartmentalized. So
What is the difference between class and caste?
class can be on the basis of economic also, and generally it is not by birth that can be, but caste is often caste is on birth. Based on birth you get your caste and clan, and class can be like economic. We have the working class, the capitalist class,
You just use
elite
the term
class.
depressed classes.
Mhm.
Here the class term is used because they are economically not powerful. So why don't the basis of class reservation should be based on the basis of class? It should be given to the depressed classes or the classes which are not doing well.
So traditionally, when this has been, when constitution was when the constitution was being made, it has been debated issue. So it well debated, and initially what was that the first, I can say that reservation has been given in 3 phases in India. The first phase was undoing the wrong done to the particularly scheduled castes, particularly those who were demeaned at every moment. So that was that. Then we graduated to again the OBC based was more about, not about they were more socially backward. They were not generally economically backward. Now the third phase is, we are seeing that economic as in EWS reservation has also come to the fora, and the Supreme Court judgments are also
Is there any provision in the constitution for reservation for economically backward classes?
Yes, sir. The recent amendment of EWS has put that it can be given to the forward classes of economically weaker sections. So article I remember it to be 15(6) and 16(6).
It provides for reservation on the
To-
basis of
Two economically weaker sections of general or forward castes, yes,
okay.
based upon certain criteria.
Okay, what is silent voter in terms of Bihar election?
This is more, I would say, the media discussed it a lot, that one party has vocal voters and the other parties have silent voters. So they do not are too
What are
vocal.
these silent voters?
So they are not vocal about that whom they would vote when asked. And
So why one party is claiming that their side is not vocal? What speciality in them that they are not vocal and others are very vocal? Is there any relation with their caste, their gender, their sex? I mean, is there any
the silent voter has been said about the women being the silent voters. Because the present government has done a lot about women reforms in Bihar, women empowerment particularly.
in
So
some areas the women voted more
Mhm.
vis-a-vis the male category. So their participation is very much. They are politically very aware. Still, they are socially not aware. Why so?
Sir, I would say that social awareness among women is, as compared to political in Bihar, is less, because again the same thing, the within a family, I mean coming out of the family, and they are not that much, I mean, assertive. They are not that much assertive as they are when in case of being when they are voting. Their voting behavior is more assertive as compared to their social interactions at family level. So that is I believe a
Do you
reason.
think that because of social factors, they are silent?
Yes, sir. It is also it is not well debated within whom. We will see that almost it has been a phenomenon that the head of the family would decide and all would vote according to that. So and if they want to go against that, then they can't be vocal about it in their communities, in particular communities. And but they are well educated, then they are seeing that if they are getting any benefits from government, if a government is giving them security and livelihood opportunities, then they would vote for that government, breaking these shackles. So there we see a dent.
You are from engineering background.
Yes.
So your parents have invested so much for your engineering services, but now you are switching to this service. So you have vested money, your parents'
No.
money, valuable money.
No, sir, I won't say that I have wasted my money. And sir, one more point I would like to state here, that now engineering should not be considered a different thing. Like previously there was graduation, so now engineering is new normal. After that, often we are deciding that what we'll do. So I'll like to consider engineering as the new normal, just a new type of graduation. So, and having said that, after my graduation, I have worked in the corporate. I got my job. I have worked there in a Fortune 30
how
AIG.
your engineering background helped you in this administration?
So particularly my electrical engineering or the work profile which I had. So the job profile which I had. Yes. So sir, if overall I'll say that what Bihar currently needs is one of the major problem is flood based. There is lot of flooding, and also in my stint with AIG, so I was risk engineer over there. So I have worked with on various type of flood situations. We have to calculate that flood loss estimates we had to calculate, and how. So I have studied flood maps of US government. So US was the most business area. So I have that kind of knowledge which can be implemented and come helpful when my stint is over here.
Our CM also has an engineering background.
Yes.
Do you think that if an engineer can run the Bihar, then I could administer the Bihar with an engineering background?
Sir, he has run and he has sworn in for the 7th time, and on not only in paper but also in visibility, I'll say that this government has achieved good as compared to when he came, and today what we are having in Bihar.
FIDE ranking in chess.
FIDE ranking in chess is the international chess rankings. It is the highest governing body of chess.
Okay.
So that ranks different chess players as per men, women, and also there is a mix.
Highest rank?
Highest rank currently is by Magnus Carlsen, around 2800 plus ratings. He is the only one.
How a winner is declared in a chess?
Okay, so sir, that depends upon what type of game we are playing. So there can be a classical chess game where one will be declared winner when the other king cannot move, which we call as checkmate. So the person whose king cannot move defeats and the other person wins. The other versions are timed versions. In timed versions we have blitz, rapids, and lightning, so other variations. So either you checkmate your opponent, or the flag. There is a time flag. It means the time who loses first. One who uses his time first, he loses. And there is one more version is there, Armageddon. So in that there cannot be, like it is done for having a win. Like sure shot won't be there, as white has given 30 seconds more time and black is not given 30 seconds more time. So a draw means black wins over there. So sure shot win.